Hi, I'm Linda from paperboutiquewithlinda.com. A few weeks ago, I did a series on how to make your own calendar using the Arc system. After I finished the video, I had several emails suggesting that I try the Levenger punch instead of the Arc system. I contacted Levenger, and I'm pleased to say they sent me their portable punch to try. But first, let me show you the end results. This is the calendar organizer that I made before. But what I want to show you, because I wanted to do a comparison and make it as close as possible, this book was originally, I think you can see, this thick. I removed several of the months because I wanted to make it a little thinner so that I could replicate it. And this book is made using the Arc system, and I love it, but let me just show you a couple things. It's a little harder to turn. If you notice, I'm kind of pulling up and pushing over. So if you were to just try to do it like this, it doesn't always work. You just need to lift up on it. And that's one thing I wanted to point out. Is it worth buying the system? Absolutely. And I also noticed at CHA, someone had done a video on Me and My Big Ideas have come out with a happy planner that's similar to this, and it uses a disc system, and they were having troubles, flipping it too. So anyway, I'm just going to move that aside. So what I did is, and I'll show you in a few minutes the actual punch and how it works. I punched this book, and they're fairly comparable in size, using the Levenger punch. And I was really surprised. It does open and turn easier. Now, it's not an exact replica, but as you can see, I'm not having to, go like this. And I mean, see there, it'll stick, but it is easier to turn, and it's also easier to kind of go back on itself. That's an example. Now, I used the same Arc rings. I did not purchase the Levenger discs, and the reason I didn't is the Levenger discs are fairly pricey. You get 22 of the 1-inch discs from Levenger for $14, and with the Arc system at Staples, you get 12 for $3.99, or you'd get 24 for $7.98. And the discs, I think that they're universal. I mean, they look so similar. In fact, here's a Rollabind disc, and it almost looks like they're manufactured from the same place. I don't know that for sure. But speaking of Rollabind, let me just show you one thing. I had a few Rollabind discs, and so I used the Levenger punch to punch this, and I wanted to see how the Rollabind discs work. And look, this actually works even easier, but it may be that it works easier because it's a smaller size. So I do think that the Levenger punch is a little bit better for enabling you to turn the pages. And let me show you why I say that. Here is an example, and I know you're not going to be able to see this, of the Levenger and the Arc. But the Levenger punch is a little bit wider. If you view them like an umbrella, the Levenger is a little longer and a little deeper than the Arc system. They're, really interchangeable, but I think this little difference makes it a little easier to turn the pages. And let me just tell you a couple more things about the punches and how expensive they are when we return, and I'll set up so you can actually see me doing the punching. Well, here is the Levenger punch that they were so kind to send me. However, this is a portable punch, and it sells for $29. And the comparison will be a little bit different because here's the Arc punch, and the Arc punch is much heavier, and this is more of a desk model. This sells for $42.99 online at Staples. So the comparison is a little weak. However, Levenger does have what they call a circa punch, which looks to be, I don't own the punch, looks to be as durable as this for $49.99. So I think that would be a better comparison, but this is what they sent me, and I really want to compare based on the size of the hole, which I do like the Levenger the hole size much better, but I have to tell you, I'm not a fan of the portable punch. Not for like DIY books and thick cardstock. And let me show you one of the reasons why. I tried to punch 2 pieces of cardstock, and this isn't even thick cardstock, and it jammed. It would periodically jam on just one piece of this. And to be fair, this is really designed more for notebook paper and notebook inserts. But it's good to know that I personally wouldn't recommend it for cardstock. But let me show you some of the features. You can set the different sizes by just sliding this little dial here, and you unlock the punch here. And this is something I don't particularly like. When you put it in, it tends to slip around a little, and sometimes the holes don't get punched as accurately as I'd like. And here's another feature. You have to, and this isn't true with their larger punch, or at least I don't believe so. And you can hear I'm really working. And you punch one at a time. But the resulting punch size is so, I think it's better than the Arc system. Let me just leave that there for a moment, and I'll bring in the Arc punch, which is like, you can really hear how substantial it is. You can do more pages at once, which I'm sure you can with the Levenger one as well, but it's just super, super easy. I love the quality of the Arc. I do love the Arc system. It's just that the pages don't seem to turn as easily as they do with the Levenger. One more thing I would like to add, Roll-A-Bind has a punch that I think is going to be similar to the Levenger punch, and it sells for, I believe, $49.95. So I might actually buy that punch so I can say I've tried all of the systems. But at the end of the day, I'm very glad, like I said, I bought the Arc system. However, I think the Levenger punch is worth exploring, not the portable one for doing this type of punching, but their larger one. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and please visit my YouTube channel to see I've done several videos on the Arc system, a 2-part video on DIY organizers, and also visit my blog at www.paperboutiquewithlinda.com for more projects and ideas. Bye-bye.